put my finger up because I thought this was going to be muted because I didn't set up beforehand, but I guess it's working right now for some reason. I need to look around to actually I could just move the window. Why don't I just move the window? I'm like a crazy person. Because the camera's right here, right? So I have to make sure I can see what's going on to make sure it's all good. But it is all good. And I could just have the little camera right there so I can still see myself when I look at it. I'm still getting used to this new setup. I am happy with this camera. I am happy with the setup we've done here. I just need to get used to it. Anyway, welcome. Monday Morning Coffee, episode 30. I have a cup of coffee. I have a list of topics. I'm going to talk about the topics until I finish the coffee, which I think everything I just said is not going to be true today, including the morning as usual, but then also the fact that I'm not going to be able to finish this because it's a giant cup of coffee. And also there is so much to talk about this week that I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to cover everything because there's a lot of changes and I only wrote down the stuff that I really remembered. So I might not actually cover everything that's important for me to talk about. But we're going to try our best. I'm just going to go straight into it. I don't have any funny bits today. Well, actually, today hasn't been that bad. I forgot. I had set up a bunch of stuff to do. I have a lot of stuff to do. And I remembered, oh shit, there's a Monday Morning Coffee today. It's number 30. I keep it real with number 30, by the way. I don't know what I meant by that, but just, I'm not quite warmed up, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not quite warmed up. I usually warm up a little bit more. Okay? But I also knew that this episode needed to come out at some point today. And that's where I'm at right now. So we're going to go down the list. And at some point, I hope I'm warmed up enough that I'm not stifling over everything I say. Anyway, updates. So, new setup for this channel, again, for the 30 millionth time on just Monday Morning Coffee alone. I've decided that this channel is going officially back to grab bag. I'm not going to try and do weekly anything at all except this show, of course. But this show, like I said many times, this show makes sense as a staple because it's just me updating everyone on everything that I'm doing, which makes a lot of sense as a staple product. But in terms of videos or shorts, I'm just going to think of ideas, and then the second that I think of the idea, I'm probably just going to do it. I have a set hour every day that I have scheduled to record something. Not always a stream, but of course on Mondays that hour is always for Monday Morning Coffee. For other days, it's mostly to record those videos or to record something for JBR. So pretty much just making it with however I want to make it and whatever works with the format of YouTube. That's pretty much my focus for this channel going forward. I deleted a couple of the shorts. I know, very sad. Guess what? They're still available on TikTok. But another thing about that, I am stopping that TikTok, the TikTok for this channel specifically, not the TikTok that has Phil in the Rhythm on it and everything like that, but the TikTok that just re-uploads the highlights from this channel. Shutting that down. Like I said, no more regular shorts on this channel. I'll probably start to phase out. In fact, I might have done this already and I forgot, but I don't think I did. I'll start to phase out this channel's shorts. But I want to save all of them first because that's another thing that's coming up. Is I've mentioned the archive channel before. I think now I'm actually going to legitimately make the archive channel because there's getting too many videos that I'm needing to delete in order to make a cohesive hey, this is what this channel is. And if I keep trying out a bunch of different ideas, then it's going to get more and more complicated to be oh, what is this channel actually about? So I need to delete stuff. But I also don't want to delete stuff because I'm a big history guy. You have to have that stuff archived. And I was using the Google Drive, but now the Google Drive is getting a little bit overloaded. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe this time now it actually makes sense to have everything over on a different channel that's literally just for archive purposes. And of course, any of that stuff, hopefully, since it was posted on YouTube before, it's also safe for YouTube still, hopefully. But that's the plan for those videos. And then for the JBR channel, which is the company that I run, JBR similar sort of stuff, although that one, of course, is going to be on a weekly schedule. I have gone back and forth this week and the last week as to how exactly I want to run that channel. I think it's going to be similar to just me talking with very minimal editing about certain topics that people either ask for on the TikTok, because there's open for questions and stuff on TikTok, or, I mean, also on the YouTube itself, but the YouTube itself obviously hasn't grown that much yet. So checking either one of those, or just like keyword searches, right? Like looking up on fucking SEO stuff, like what are people asking? That sort of stuff. Getting those questions down. I have changed the formats of JBR's shorts to look a little bit more clean. The only problem is that a lot of those, they don't hit the YouTube Shorts limit, because the YouTube Shorts limit is 60 seconds. There is no real limit for TikToks. I think you can even go up to 10 minutes. But of course, we're just trying to stay within that minute range. But some of them go a little bit over into like a minute 10. And it'll cut you off on YouTube Shorts if you do a minute 10. But it won't on TikTok. So for those ones, any of the ones that don't let me do the whole thing, or like cut me off on YouTube Shorts, they're not going to show up on YouTube Shorts. They're only going to show up on the TikTok. But then I have like regular like size YouTube videos that's just me talking to a screen about a given topic. It's a little bit more long form. It's cut up. It's edited. But it's mostly like default editing and like stuff like Capwing, everything like that. Okay, I don't know what the problem is. So when I look straight, it's like me, typically punchable, like the usual punchable face. But if I turn this way, this is like 10 times more punchable, I think. Like, this is a 10 times more punchable face than this face like this. Something about the profile just fucks me up. Something about this profile fucks me up, and I don't know why. It's like high schooler who listens to Drake and thinks he has a lot of educational... No, sorry, not Drake. No, pretentious stuff. Like pretentious rap music listener who is white, who's in high school. Okay, shut up. Just continue with the show. God damn it. This is such a weird tangent. The next thing we gotta talk about, of course, hey, 1K challenge. 1K follower challenge. Very important. But let me skip that one for now, because I want to do that one at the very end, because then I have to like get the window set up for that and everything. Instead, the next topic. So last time, I was talking about how we brought up the JBR newsletter. So there's now a newsletter for JBR that's scheduled weekly. Of course, that is replacing the Astukery newsletter. Well, it's not necessarily replacing it. It's just that there's another newsletter that's in its place. It kind of conveniently got rid of the Astukery newsletter to replace it with the JBR newsletter. I used the word replace again. I just said replace wasn't the right word for that. I gotta heat up. Like I said, I gotta heat up to do these. I'm not heated up today. Whatever, it's fine. The Astukery newsletter I ran since 2018. It was bi-weekly and was to talk about updates to anything that I was currently working on. This show is weekly, and it's for updates on stuff that I'm currently working on. So when I set up JBR newsletter, I looked back at the Astukery newsletter and I decided, I don't really need this. I already have the video stuff. Let me just do the video stuff. And so that was why the Astukery newsletter is gone. However, I'm thinking of potentially bringing it back in a new and interesting way. It has to do with the fiction stuff. So stuff like Film the Rhythm, it might come back. And it'll be very, very different than how it was before, but it might. This is still like a might, so I'm not going like too much details. But it's something to consider, something that I want to bring up on this show, because this show is about updates, not just updates, but forward-looking statements that may or may not happen. That's what this show is about. It makes sense. I also am moving, so some of you may have noticed in some of these videos, which I have not edited yet, because I wanted to set up this thing first. If you try to go to, like, for example, the Sims 4 video, where there's supposed to be an uncensored version of the Sims 4 video available through the premium, like, patron page that I have set up, I had that set up on Gumroad. If you click the link, it'll lead to a 404 page, and that's because I'm moving from Gumroad to Patreon. Because I want the Gumroad stuff to just be like JBR. And so to move my personal stuff over somewhere else, I feel like it's more convenient. So that's going to be set up on Patreon, but I haven't done it yet. So if you click any of the links, they will all 404. So that's just like an alert for you guys to have, and hopefully convince me to hurry up on that process and actually get the Patreon set up. It's going to be exactly, like literally one-to-one exactly the same. I'm going to change some of the rewards because I feel like some of the rewards, like, you know, if you're, I'm going to focus it more towards like this channel and like the fiction stuff, because the fiction stuff and this are kind of intertwined in a weird way. I want to make like 2 different tiers maybe, where it's like you can do the fiction stuff, more of the serious content, like getting boys and girls for free and all that stuff, or you can get just the YouTube stuff for maybe like cheaper. Like you can get either one of them for cheaper, or you can get both for a higher price. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but something like that. But I haven't made it yet. So the uncensored video is still there. I still have access to it. It's just that you don't have access to it. But eventually, I am going to make it so that you also have access to it. Just give me a little bit longer. There's a lot of stuff in the backlog, as I'm sure you could probably tell. Mostly focused on JBR right now, but I have not forgotten the Astukari Knots. I have not forgotten you guys. That's right. That's the name of you guys now, the Astukari Knots. I was thinking about that earlier. I was not thinking about it at all. Oh, that's right. There's a new video this week. Oh shit! We have a new releases section. I can't talk about it yet. So that's gonna be covering all of that stuff. Those are the updates for this week. But of course, hey, you know what time it is. I gotta officially move to this monitor because I need to not keep moving my face over. I don't want to see the profile too. See, this is perfect framing because I can't see myself. So I can't get distracted by the profile. You might still be able to, but I don't. And that's what's important because I need to run the damn show. Okay. We have our 4 contenders. For those of you who don't know, we are trying to see which of my social media channels will get to 1,000 followers first. There are 4 in the running for this challenge specifically, the highest growing ones. We're gonna switch it over, check out the updates for this. It's 1K followers in a year, by the way, so we have until December. Some of them are closer than others. I'll just say that. This needs to be in windowed. Right here, perfect. All right, so first channel is, of course, the Pinterest. The Pinterest is still stagnant. I mean, this really doesn't change too much each week. We probably don't need to do an update. Still a good mix of both images from Twitter and then also like AI generated stuff. We were at 19 followers. I think last week we were at 18 followers. Or sorry, 519 followers. And this week, last week we're at 518 followers. This week we're at 519 followers. So we are growing at a rate of 1 new follower per week, which in the deadline that we have, this shit's never going to even come close. The next thing that we have that's also pretty stagnant is the Twitter. This is the more I think about it, the more I realize this is really kind of like a one-pony show here. But this one, 241, so it fell by 1. It went down by 1. And if you really want to feel embarrassed for me, this YouTube channel, this one right here, has lost 3 subscribers since last week. Last week it was 639. This week it's 636. However, our numbers on videos are doing pretty good, right? So the last video we released was 106, which isn't that great. These 2 German videos got 350, which I'm going to say is quite good. I was hoping they would get at least like 50, and they got 350. So hey, that's a win. And then this video that just came out that kind of represents more of the like grab bag content. It's already at 20 with 2 days. That's 10 views a day, buddy. That's pretty good. Hey, count that one out every day for a year. 365 days. That's 3,000. That's 3,000 views. If I can get 3,000 views on that one, that's pretty good. I have no problems with that. I also just want to clean this page more generally, but I don't know exactly how it's going to work. Probably getting rid of live stream VODs, or at least not on this page, and also getting rid of the shorts on this page. Well, that would be me more probably deleting the shorts. But some of the videos are exclusives on here. Of course, a very important video, the role player, and also the what is happening back there, of course, has to say, of course. So those ones you don't have to worry about. And then finally, the story-based TikTok, which I'm happy this is growing. We're almost at 250 followers now. Is growing at a very rapid pace at this point. And I'm happy about it. I'm quite happy about it. This is the one that if I wanted any of these to grow, this is the one that I wanted. This one is actually on track to hit a 1K by December 31st. This one is actually on track. None of the other ones are. None of the other ones are even close. Maybe we should just call this the 1K followers for the Astukri TikTok challenge and not the other ones. But hey, we don't. It's a year. It's a year. We're in April. So the first quarter's done, but there's still 3 more quarters in this race to go. We could see a Pinterest revival. You don't know that. You don't know that. I will be running ads for Pinterest. Not any more ads for Twitter. Twitter's probably dead. This channel, I'm still making content. I'm making content right now. We could see a YouTube revival. What can I say? We could see a non-Germa related YouTube revival, which is, hey, it's in the cards. It's possible. It's something that could happen. Maybe. But probably not. Let me go back to our main stuff to talk about. So new releases, of course, Film the Rhythm. You just saw it there for a brief second. I think it was part 5, or maybe part 6. I always get confused on what part got released and what part I'm working on, because I'm always 1 part ahead of wherever you guys are. I think you might be on part 5. So I think part 5 released this week. And then new releases also on this channel. If you go to this channel and you go to the channel page, you should see a new video about Quora that I made a week ago or so that got released. That one's pretty good. Of course, I'm going to say my own videos are pretty good. Whatever. There's the sequel to a blog post that I made on my website. And Quora is just, I think Quora is very underrated, so I will make a Quora video any chance I get. So that was my first one. I'm like, oh, we should make one on this. But there are others in the queue. And not all of them are going to be comedy videos. Some of them are just going to be me reviewing stuff, straight-faced, or me talking about, topics and stuff straight-faced. No weird, pseudo-philosophical shit, at least not yet. But I plan on it being pretty much the same as the website, besides the pseudo-philosophical stuff. That this channel, these video recordings become sort of what the old blog was, Astukri.com. I should have called it Astukri.com in the video. I think I called it Jacob-Robinson.com, which, still works, but it would make, because you guys know me as Astukri, so Astukri.com, you could go there. It also works. I'm actually still going to be making blog posts, but they're going to be co-signed, okay? Because I don't have the time. I don't have the time to make the blog posts anymore. I don't really have time to make the videos anymore either, but the videos, that's just me talking. This is really easy for me. It's not easy for you to listen to what I'm saying, but it's easy for me to record this. They're going to be co-signed by ChatGPT, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna write the out every time I think of a blog post. I'm like, ooh, this is a good blog post idea. I don't think this is gonna work for YouTube or anything. I'm gonna write the outline. I'm just gonna have ChatGPT write the rest of it. I feel like that's a pretty good strategy. So that's gonna be the plan there. I don't know when the next blog post is gonna come out though on Astukri.com. But hey, keep watch. Keep watch. That's a good website to have in your bookmarks. Let me tell you, that's old school internet shit right there. Not really, but it's gonna be old school and give it a couple of years. Can we finish the fucking Monday morning coffee already? Jesus. What episode is this? Episode 30? When do you think it's gonna be good? Episode 100? Hey, it does have, doesn't it? This series still has the 3 digits, right? Or did I get rid of one of the digits? It should have 3 digits. So we will. Anytime you put 3 digits in the name of your, it does still have 3 digits. Yes, every time you put 3 digits in the name of your video series, that means it's going up to at least 100. It has to. And that's my plan for this one. Although I think I did. No! I was going to say, okay, a Sukri newsletter had 3 digits. A Sukri newsletter did get to 100, didn't it? Or did it not? I thought it got to like 110, right? Well, I have to think about that because, actually, let me just go to the page. And yeah, like I said, it's still coming back at some point, just in a different. Yeah, I got to 110. It got to 110. So that one had started with 3 digits, and it did get to the full thing. So I commit. I do commit, and hey, that series still might come back. Same with Indie Game Roundup. That still might come back eventually at some point, maybe. But like I said, this is the show not just about updates, but about loosely called forecasts. Anyway, what I've been doing. What I've been reading, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm trying to get out of physical books. I, of course, have a big collection of physical books, a physical library, and I do like those books, and I am going to keep all of them until eventually I have to move out, in which case I might get rid of the ones that I read and was kind of like, eh, about. But from now on, I'm going to try to not buy as many physical books. I'm going to try focusing on the Readwise Reader, which is a really, really cool app that the Readwise people put out. It single-handedly got me to resubscribe to that software because I didn't really understand. I didn't really like it too much at first because it's a highlighting tool where your highlights export to your Notion and you can read your highlights at any time. I was like, okay, that's cool, but this is really only just for articles and stuff. They added a Readwise Reader, which is a reading software where it's very similar to Calibre, which if you ever use Calibre, the library app where you can download a bunch of PDFs, it automatically adds some metadata to each of your PDFs. You read them, it saves where you were in that book, sort of like a Kindle sort of thing, except now it's, you can do the Readwise highlights and stuff, and you can import as much as you want, articles, PDFs, all that sort of stuff. I think it's really cool, so I'm trying to move everything over there, and hopefully they don't shut down that tool, because I don't know how many other people use it, but that tool is very, very helpful to me specifically. That's my paranoia every time I use a tool. Like for My Mind, for example, of course I made that review of My Mind that was really popular, but I don't know how many other people actually use that app. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, don't run out of business. I actually need to use that. Like, don't. Like, I'll give you the money to fund the server hosting costs. Just let that app stay up because I actually need it. I've been playing Blade and Sorcery again. Been playing a little bit of Counter-Strike Global Offensive as well. I really like the Deathmatch. I don't really care about the normal mode, but I do like Deathmatch. But I've been playing Blade and Sorcery again. The Mod Manager update has been on it's been active enough. I think it's been active for about 2 months now, maybe? I might be getting that wrong. 2 months. So some of the mods are now trickling into that new internal mod manager. Still missing some important stuff, like it's missing the attribute modifiers, the battle modifiers, which I think is a really cool quality of life mod. I didn't see that there when I checked, but it's got stuff like the Yamamoto and like realistic blood and gore. And the guns on the mod manager page actually work, which is impressive because Nexus mods guns don't work. I've never got them to work before, but they do work on here, which is very impressive. Anyway, so Blade and Sorcery again, video coming out very soon. I know a lot of you are Blade and Sorcery fans. I know there's a lot of Germanites in here, but there's a lot of Blade and Sorcery people as well. Haven't really been listening to anything and haven't really been watching anything, I would say. Mostly just been reading and playing stuff. Anyway, like I said, we're going to cover that one. This has been a long episode. This has actually been a very long episode. This is 25 minutes. These average at like 8 or 10 minutes. This has been a 25-minute long episode. Like I said, I have a lot to talk about. Even when I'm rambling. Or, well, actually, maybe the fact that I'm rambling made it longer. That would make more sense, actually. I would still say I never warmed up, which is sad. Actually, I got a little bit into the flow of things. Some days you just got it. And those are the best streams, by the way. All the best streams is because I just had it, like, immediately. And some days you never get it. And this is I never got it stream. Oh god, I have the fucking coffee stain teeth. I swear to god, people are gonna look at these later. Nobody's commented on it before, but I'm gonna have this as a footnote, just in case they do. People are gonna look at that and think it's like a fuck huge cavity. No, it's just like it's literally a stain for coffee. It's like a coffee stain, like it's brown, and it fades away. You can clean it. Like if I'm going to the dentist on Wednesday, they'll probably clean it. But yeah, if you just like put coffee on it, it gets darker. Then as you drink like water and stuff, which I do still have some water here, it fades away. Anyway, that has been this episode of Monday Morning Coffee. This is episode number 30. I know I didn't finish the coffee, but I'm going to need this because, well, a lot of stuff's cooking. You gotta let me cook, okay? You gotta let me cook. Because stuff's coming. And stuff is coming. Stuff is flowing. But I'm trying to get kind of a handle of things first. Anyway, that's been this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And I will try not to forget to do the outro this time.